YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and this is gonna be the final match in the finals of the Faction Band Tournament, where Blade Masters Carthage is facing Eastern Warlords Lusitani on Nemedicina. This will actually probably be a tough fight for Carthage unless they can properly use their elephants, because the Lusitani certainly outmatch them in terms of offensive capabilities. However, Carthage obviously has some tools of its own and is capable of defeating Lusitani if used properly. So we will see how this goes. It's basically high attack, lots of javelins, versus more sturdy armor and defense of the Carthaginians with the potential for elephant wreckage. Better armor in general on the Carthaginians too, so better missile block chances. And it looks like in this case the Carthaginians are going to be rushy, which is probably a good move because the Lusitani do struggle versus cavalry. But there's quite a few Scutari Cav on the field. I believe there's 5 of them. There is. And they are supported by Scutari Spears, but there's also late Libyan Hoplites here, and Scutari Spears would have a hard time getting rid of late Libyan Hoplites. Late Libyans do not have javelins, but their armor, block chance, and just overall sturdiness is quite good for such a cheap unit. One Italian swordsman up front to meet shield. I believe I saw Samnite warriors, yes, interspersed with Libyan infantry, so lots of armor up the main line. And then, let's see, there's a mix of Carthaginian and mercenary Scutari Cav here, and then the African elephants. So Blade is going to rush in, try and tie down all the enemy units, and go for the kill with the elephants. And he's going to have to try and keep his elephants away from the numerous javelins available to the Lusitani. Iberian swords, Scutari, all these units are very javelin heavy. So we will see. Really like that the Lusitani have so many javelins. It again makes them somewhat of a unique flavor. I almost wish that their javelins would get more elite damage for their infantry to make them a slightly more interesting faction, since they are so prone to cavalry and skirmish fire. Their only viable skirmish options really being very expensive Balearic slingers, and these are not Balearics, these are just Iberians. So trying to make use of the cheaper skirmishers. Here comes the fight, the Italian swords tying down several units of veteran shield warriors, so that's very good for Blade Master. Iberian swords tied down by a hoplite, again very good because it keeps the elephants out of danger. So Blade Master just has so many units that the Lusitani is being bogged down here. This is exactly what the Lusitani does not want to see, because these elephants are basically going to be able to come in free reign. So yeah, the swordsmen of Carthage get a nice engagement in the center. Their charge, the charge of the Lusitani was somewhat interrupted. There are still Lusitani nobles around, but I mean at this point the Carthaginian rush is just completely swamping the Lusitani. They're getting overwhelmed by numbers, and again the Carthaginian units are armored and will not fall quickly to cheap Iberian slingers. Even the better Balearic slingers would struggle in this case. The Lusitani nobles do have the potential to do a lot of killing, but the Carthaginian Libyan infantry have shield wall, and then the Samnite warriors tend to just have very nice defense and armor. So it's going to take the Lusitani nobles some time to get their work done, and these elephants are still alive, and you're seeing a lot of Lusitani cavalry and skirmishers getting wrapped up, which simply means that the elephants will probably survive the late game. There was no Carthaginians here, so the Lusitani noble pushes through. Veteran shields fighting up here. Let's just kind of see how this fight's going. The veteran shield warriors are definitely taking a toll on the Samnites and the Libyans, but again, the initial cavalry charges of Blade Master did a great job. Scutari cavalry falling because it can't be supported by the Lusitani guerrillas here. They are tied down with the Carthaginian or the Libyan hoplites, which is very capable. Late Libyan hoplites getting beat by Iberian swordsmen there. Let's see, more cavalry on the move. It's going to go for the slingers. And a nice outflanking maneuver here by the Lusitani. These Samnites are going to get destroyed, and they could potentially wrap up this infantry fight in the center, so a nice maneuver there. The Lusitani started off a little bit rough engagement, but their offense paying off there. Lusitani noble with no skirmishers. Blade Master doesn't have a lot of answer to that Lusitani noble at the moment, but again, if the elephants are used properly, he will have a very important late game tool, and the more javelins that the Lusitani use in combat, the better. Yeah, you can kind of see Blade Master saving those for late game. Right now, it actually favors the Lusitani in terms of numbers. Just again, their offensive capability to chop through the less offensive swords of Carthage have been handy here. Though this Libyan infantry did manage to best its opponent, but I mean it's about to be rear charged. Mercenary Samnites here getting just spanked by veteran shield warriors, but there is Carthaginian infantry still left on the flank. The elephants are untouched and off in the distance, just kind of hanging back. The Iberian slingers will certainly be needed to take out the elephants, and right now they're being attacked by Carthaginian cavalry. So this is pretty bad for the Lusitani player. He's got to keep those slingers alive. The elephants are kind of feinting in and out to keep the attention of the slingers, while this cavalry here continues to do its work. So for medium cavalry, Carthaginian cavalry is quite good. For a medium melee cav, it's not bad at all in terms of what it offers in attack and everything. So yeah, Carthaginian cav 2 out here that looks like it's come back from routing. So Blademaster has all the tools he needs to potentially be successful. Again, he just needs to keep his elephants safe and play patiently, because he's got a cavalry advantage at this point, and he can use these Carthaginian cav to pretty much mop up these slingers. The elephants may not have to do anything. Yeah, I mean, the Lusitani Nobles has 177 kills with only 30 losses at this point, so definitely a tough unit. Scutari Spearmen over here, and Shield Wall trying to hold out, but they're not very well matched, honestly, against the Hoplites. The Hoplites can actually go into Phalanx as well, and get a bonus versus infantry, where the Scutari Spearmen will then suffer. Now, these Carthaginian cavalry might want to just be a little bit... Yeah, good. So Blademaster's going to keep them away from all the Sextus infantry. He'll want to pull his units in from the flank and again tie down enemy infantry, take out the slingers, and then the elephants are pretty much free to win him this battle. It's going to be fairly straightforward. So Blademaster's done a good job here of just taking away the tools that the Lusitani would need to kill the elephants for the most part. If the Lusitani player still has javelins, he will definitely want to make sure all of his units are off fire at will, and to attempt to save those for the African elephants. There are no Iberian swordsmen left, which is a big problem for the Lusitani. They are probably the best infantry unit in terms of getting rid of elephants, because they have 5 volleys of the Soliferum javelins. Lusitani guerrillas would also be very good at getting rid of elephants, but those were killed as well. The Iberian slingers could potentially get the job done, but they would need a lot of time to fire in order to do enough damage to really get rid of the elephants in the end. Carthage is going to call off that cavalry charge. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. We're getting near the end of the game. Looks like the Lusitani want to have this engagement over here. Blademaster's going to only offer them a Libyan hoplite and to save his mercenary Samnite warriors. These ones did very well in whatever that they were in combat against. These veteran shield warriors will hack the Libyan hoplites to bits. But again, I really do like the late Libyan hoplites. They are a nice unit for the price, and basically for how quickly you can get them in the campaign and other stuff too. They are a very useful unit. Okay, Carthaginian cav moving in over here. More Carthaginian cav. Elephants just hanging back again. I'm not even sure if they're going to have to play a role this battle. We'll see. Blademaster has every advantage he needs at this point. He's just going to continue tying down infantry and seek an opportunity for his elephants. And right here is the opportunity for his elephants. The Lusitani noble's going to engage the late Libyan hoplites, and the Lusitani general is going to be hit by African elephants. They will kill the... Well, so now they're trying to retreat from the engagement, knowing the elephants are inbound. It's a little too late at this point. The elephants are taking some shots from the slingers, but it won't be enough to run them mad. Not very quickly. Javelins could do it, but slingers will take a while, and the Lusitani noble is just going to get absolutely mauled by the African elephants, and they will pay for themselves in a single charge there by ruining the Lusitani general and continuing on to the slingers. So the elephants racking up a quick 100 kills and sealing the deal here in this late game. It was definitely a good fight. The Lusitani killed a huge portion of the Carthaginian infantry, but by not being able to deal with the elephants, it's going to cost him. It's going to cost him a lot. The elephants are close to 200 kills now. Still rampaging. I'm not seeing any javelins coming in from infantry. These guys are not rearing back to throw either, so the javelins from the Lusitani must have been expended. Because, the elephants are going to be near invulnerable at this point. Libyan infantry getting mauled. Lusitani's still getting a couple of sling volleys off, though, doing what they can to try and hurt the elephants, but the slingers take a lot of time. If you have concentrated Balearic slinger or Rhodian slinger fire, it would get the job done pretty quick. But, yeah, and these are only African elephants. Again, the elite skirm, well, I mean, see, look, it did some damage. You can tell it does damage, but again, if you had elite slingers, that might have made more of a difference. But the elephants are just going to rack up way too many kills here for the Lusitani to overcome. In the end, it was a fairly close battle, but I mean, with the elephants alive, definitely in favor of Blademaster. And he wins the tournament. Hope you all enjoyed these. Hope you've had a good Christmas, happy holidays, whatever it may be. Hope you've enjoyed the videos I've had up. I will be back on the day after Christmas, my time. I'm out of town while you're watching this, and I will be recording you more fun. Be back with more Knights of the Old Republic, Empire at War, Total War, of course. I'll throw some more Halo videos in soon. I've actually been trying really hard to get you some of the new maps on Halo, and the game just like refuses to put me in a match on the new map, so I am working on that. But I know since Halo's more of a secondary thing, that it's probably not too bad for you all to wait just a little while I bring you the other stuff. Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Heir of Carthage signing out.